Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Taboo is a game, fun game. You also played on stream one day.
I love Taboo. I would love to play that
I don't think
game.
I've ever played it, but I've seen the box a billion times in like everybody's board game cabinet.
It's so good. But it's like, those are my favorite types. Oh, thank you. Oh, by the way, Colby. This is Corey.
Hi, everybody.
Colby got me this for my birthday. It's upside down.
Oh, it's really cool, but it's upside down.
And it's the other way. Don't worry.
There it is.
Look at how cool this is.
Yeah, it looks sick. He showed me that. He got you that for your birthday.
It's so neat. Anyways, he got me this. I'm super psyched about it. Thank you, Colby. Excellent as always. I thought I'd have it as my stream room blanket because it's frigid in this room. Frigid.
This is Nebula. This was for the first time like 2 weeks ago. I was sweating in this room, and I was like, "What's happening?" I was like, "Am I okay?" And it was
you're like,
"This isn't right. I should be shivering."
Yeah, so Taboo, going back to Taboo. Taboo is like my favorite type of board game. People are like, do you like party games? Do you like strategy and stuff? My favorite type is games like Taboo or Categories or something where it's like generally you have to think, but a lot of it is like interaction between people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of board games you end up, unless you're a genius, which I am not. I'm really not great at learning rules. So like for most of the game, I'll be sitting there like, what's the next move? What am I supposed to be doing? And I'll like sit there and stress, and people are like, chat. I'm like, I have not heard a single word you have said. I can't even listen to you right now because I'm thinking so damn hard about what I'm supposed to be doing next. And I'm like, no. Give me Taboo, where I can sit there and be like, what word am I not supposed to be saying? And I'll look at the list of words and I'm like, I don't think there are any other words.
These are the only words that exist anymore.
These are the only words that exist at all.
It's these prepositions and proper nouns, nothing else.
That's it.
That's all we got.
It. And then they're like, don't make sound effects. And I'm like, that's all I do.
I don't want to be a machine.
Like, first of all, this is targeted. I feel a little targeted that you would say that to me because, like, how would you know? How would you know I only make sound effects? It is a lot of fun, though. Tabby's a great game. We should play it sometime.
We should.
Solly's going to do a board game show at some point, although is that a secret?
I don't know if it is.
It's not a secret.
It's not for you on our Tuesday show, our most loyal of fans.
Yes, you know.
Tuesday show is where we kind of do reveal secrets, because we also showed
all
prototype art.
That's all the time.
2 weeks before it came out.
It's true. Anyway, she's
prototype.
At some point.
We haven't been on a show since we've both been prototype.
Right.
Crazy.
That's pretty cool. Honestly, I love it. I love it. It's great. It's a good time. I like having the double.
It's fun.
Double character.
It was the after the first episode, you had texted me, feel free to kill him if it's necessary. And I went, good, I already told the boss to eat me. It's like, I already challenged him to eat me. Right. So I assumed you were cool with it.
Well, I know you.
Yeah.
So, like, I assumed you knew you were good. Like, you're good to go. I know you.
I know you're not afraid of character death.
No,
so
yeah.
I was like,
so I just wanted to make it, like, super clear. Because, like, I don't know. What if you were like, ooh, dang.
If I'm going to kill him, it's going to be when I barely know the character.
Right?
It's when I have very little attachment to this character.
Right. Yeah, it's a thing. Yeah, I don't know. I do like it's kind of nice playing it on and off because we're very busy people. So not saying that everybody else isn't very busy in our group. I mean, they're all adults and stuff, but I feel like either we just don't handle how busy we are very well, or we just happen to be extremely busy people.
Both, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
It could be both of those things.
So we're renaming the show the Prototype Cast.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it now.
We just have to keep adding on people. So next will be Nick. We'll have Nick when both of us are out of town. We'll have Nick fill in.
There is one day coming up that I will miss that I'm supposed to be on. And I was like, whoops, well, our surefire plan backfired immediately, but that's okay.
That's fine. It's fine. There ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, we were talking about it right before we hit live on stream, is how we both are extremely busy constantly.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. I'm tired.
Okay, you know what's also weird? Is both of us, like, really, really, really appreciate not doing anything.
God, it's one of my favorite things.
We are very, like, I love, if you want to just sit on a couch and stare at the wall. There doesn't even have to be music playing. I will enjoy that so much. I don't care. I don't have to be reading anything.
Yeah.
I can just sit there and exist.
I like, this is for a very brief window, but I enjoy when my power goes out, because then there's no like, you don't hear the humming that you just kind of like tune out automatically. You don't realize it's there until it's gone, and then you're like, ooh, it's quiet in here, and I'm in my bed. This is nice. So
we have a generator, and so we have air conditioning. But there's no cell phone reception. And like when there's like a hurricane or something, there's no cell phone reception, there's no internet. So I just sit there and I'm just like, this is awesome. I'll watch the little birds outside. I'll look at my back porch and look at how cool the flowers are doing. I'm like, good work, flowers. You have survived the test of being in my garden. Because that's dangerous.
It's a scary land out there.
It's dangerous. Absolutely the most dangerous thing ever.
I just sleep. That's like the best sleep of my life is when it's complete. If it's dead silent and pitch black, then I'm about to like I think I've said it before, but the best sleep I've ever gotten was I was on a cruise and we were in the center rooms, so there was no window whatsoever, and when you turn those lights off, pitch black.
Yeah,
so
and awesome. That thing is like it hums.
Yes,
like there's
and
no
the rocking
noise
of the boat, like it's just like it's rules.
I agree. I end up, I don't know. Sometimes I can sleep just like a rock. Just so nice.
Think about ending this stream just so I can go do nothing.
Yeah, right? We should just sit here.
See you guys next week.
We should just sit here and do nothing. It was nice seeing you guys. We're just going to, we'll just not talk. We'll just stare at the camera.
You know what? Hang on. Kill the music. Good bit.
That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
Pretty relaxing, though.
Anyone who just passively had us on and then just go like double check that it was still playing, the video didn't end.
It didn't. Yeah, it did not pause, or the internet didn't go out or something.
We were both pretty still too, so they had to check. Like they had to see the little particles moving in the background.
Yeah, that's true.
Turn off the lights.
Turn off the light. Yeah. Well, okay. So there's actually like 7 lights, so that would take a significant amount of effort.
It takes minutes, plural, to do that.
And I've currently got all of my furniture in this room, so to get to that light and to that light, you have to work really hard.
You have to walk around the room to walk 2 feet.
Yeah, it's some like judo things happening in here. Well, we have a pretty interesting topic today.
We do.
It's TTRPG Taboos, as you can see on the screen.
We're not.
But there's a ton of taboos. So there's like a ton of taboos, and not only are there a ton of taboos, they're all pretty hard to address.
Yeah.
I would say almost every taboo is like, let's say if someone smells bad.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
What are you gonna say? Like, you stink, man. Go put on some deodorant.
They're tough conversations at times, and they're not fun.
So
but when that guy smells too bad, you gotta tell him.
Yeah, you gotta like about how. You have the benefit of being funny and loud.
Oh.
Why? What did you think I was gonna say?
Oh man.
Oh. Is it better since you're a man?
A lot of women
Probably,
tell me otherwise. Tell me, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they won't take it quite so personally if it's a guy saying it, because they won't judge their entire persona off of whether a girl says it.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, maybe.
Especially if it's another guy, then we're not going to get into psychology, man. I'm tired. Let's move on. I don't want to get into this. It's sad.
This is exactly what we need to get into. This is the
I don't want to get into the psychology of man. I just want to talk about TTRPGs.
But these are the taboos. How would you say it if someone in your group was really stinky? How are you going to say?
This is I thought this was like a Wheel of Fortune song. This is a thing I've had to handle. I've come across many times, and when it comes to somebody smelling, that's the only one I don't know how to tell them, because it's like, sometimes they just kind of
hard.
They just kind of smell, and that's just how they naturally smell.
Right.
And they can't do anything about it.
Right. So I have the problem that I have no sense of smell, and I mean I do. Like, I can smell things, but I don't really register them as being like good or bad. Like, if something smells good, I'll be like, oh, that scent, that's a cool scent or whatever. But if something smells bad, I'll just be like, yep, there's the scent. And it doesn't... I think it's because I lived at a barn for so long.
your nostrils just got burned away.
They just, like... There's no point in being grossed out anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's just unfazable.
You've smelled the worst of the worst.
Yeah, I'm unfazable. I'm basically at that point. I'm sure it's like the same with parents. Like, after 6 kids, if something is barfing and pooping on your floor, you're just like...
Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, let me go get whatever I clean that up with or burn the house down. I don't know, but like whatever I normally do in that situation. I have thought about this though. Is that if we're not burning the house down or any of that, but for smells, is to generalize. So it'd be like, dang, it smells like BO in here. Do we need to like clean these carpets or something? Like, wow, or something. Like, I don't know. And people will automatically assume that you're talking about them. I think.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely some people where I'll say that, and then they'll be like, yeah, it does smell in here. They'll be the source of it, but then just not think it's them at all. And then it's like, I don't know what to do about you, my guy. I was being nice.
Yeah.
But if it's anything that's not hygiene, I'm pretty normally just like, oh, that sucks. I'll kind of just say directly if there's an issue.
Like what?
Well, I led the segue into TTRPGs. I can think of my first example in Taboo that drives me insane. And this is something that I've done. I think everybody's done at some point, and it's like part of the growing experience. But there comes a point. Hi, Colby. There comes a point where you need to recognize that you're doing this and stop doing it after you've played for long enough. Which is, if you're in combat and you don't plan out your turn before it gets to your turn, it drives me insane. Because then what often happens is that person's turn takes 6 or 7 times longer than anyone else's turn. And there's exceptions where it's like something big could, like the boss could or an enemy could do something big that completely throw off your plans. So you have to kind of quickly rethink it.
Right. Well, I think
I would say, hey honey, what were you doing today before our game? Or I would immediately start spraying Febreze if I'm hosting. Damn,
you walk into... Someone walks into the room, and I'm just like, do, and someone just in front of me is just like... I would be like, oh.
I'd go home. I'd go home, and I wouldn't talk to you for a week.
A week? I mean, yeah, I don't know if I would ever I would be so embarrassed. That would be phenomenal.
I pictured Nebula walking in going, ooh, taking a step out and then going back in with the Febreze.
Oh my gosh, that would be incredible though. Like
a whiff and going, oh
I
my
like
God.
You, Nebula. I like your style. That's amazing. Hey honey, what were you doing today before our game? That's like similar. So like I do work at a barn. And, like, it gets rank. I mean, we're in Florida.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
BO is kind of part of the game
It's a thing. Like, it really is. And I mean, like, I ride 8 horses a day. So...
It's a lot of horses.
What are you going to do? The minimum per horse is 15 minutes. And then you're out in the sun. It's not like we have a covered arena or something.
Yeah.
And so, at that point, I don't know. My boyfriend's not terrible about it. He normally just ends up he's like, woo, humid day out, huh? And I'm like, yeah. You wouldn't believe. So, like, I don't know. I guess it depends who you're taking it from. So I know he doesn't mean bad. So, like, at that point, I don't get offended at all. I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to go shower. Like, I'm disgusting. So I guess part of it. Anyways.
Yeah.
What were we talking about before that? I got distracted.
Not preparing.
Not preparing your turn.
Combat.
So, like, this is, I think, segues into a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Because I think this is mostly with being okay with not having an optimal turn.
Yeah.
So, like, having a group of people where the point of the game is to be optimal, then that type of stress of, like, I need the perfect turn weighs your turn time down.
Yeah. Because
you're focused so hard on making the perfect turn. Whereas, like, obviously there are things you do want to know your character, which I hardly ever know my character. And you do want to pay attention to what's happening around you. And I could barely hear what's happening around me because there's, like, the fuzz in my head is unbelievable. So, like, I feel a lot of these problems. Yeah. But at the same time... people expect me. I don't think anybody expects me to have the most optimal turn.
Yeah.
Because I'm just not that good at the game. I have a great time playing, but nobody's like, Bryn's a number cruncher.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. I think everybody else is okay with that too.
Yeah. I'm also guilty of it. When I was first prototype, I took a couple longer terms because I was learning how to play a level 12 character or whatever. So it's like there's circumstances to this, or if it's a system you're unfamiliar with. But Bryn is a min-maxer, we all know it.
We all know this.
I don't know how you min-max in Pathfinder, so you can't really.
You can definitely make it worse. So I don't know if you can make it that much better, but you can definitely make it worse. That's for sure. Okay, first of all, I try to get home with enough time to take a shower before our session on Sunday so I don't smell like whatever my job smells like. I mean, that's always appreciated. My house normally complimented on smelling good, so it's not weird if I'm spraying something in there. Okay, so that is different.
Your environment is used to that. But if you were at somebody else's house and did that.
Right. Right. Or if you're like an open space, like if you're at dinner.
You're in a public park. Where'd you get that?
You have your like emergency. You don't have pepper spray. You have Febreze. People walk up to you, you're like,
just quick holster. Prototype has some of the most interesting turns. The fun part is that could really apply to both of us.
That really doesn't apply to both of us. That's because I don't know what I'm going to do, and I just pick whatever could maybe apply.
And I know things around me will be on fire soon.
Yeah.
So, it just depends on who and what is near me.
Yeah. I like if you had a little... You know what I went on to send you, Nebula? Is like a little holster. A little holster. You can go like, shot. You're like, and then go, psh.
No, get her a utility belt so it is both Lysol, Febreze, and like colognes and perfumes. So it's like for any situation.
You like see a couple walking down the road and you smell the man has like some BO. You're like, excuse me, sir. And then you're just like lean over and you're like, with some like.
Or better yet, pretend to sneeze and then spray it at the same time.
Excuse me, sir. Let me sneeze on you.
And then sprint away before you apologize.
Yeah, you have to have. Do you have a concealed carry license or something? Like, because that's awesome. I like it.
Officers love when you reach for that. By the way.
Yeah. It'd be awesome. You would be the Batman. Yes, I love it. A large purse, that does hold everything. That is nice. So yeah, I think this is what you should be doing with your life.
We should all learn from this, really.
This is some deep Nebula lore, and I will forever remember Nebula as the lady who cooks amazing food that I have yet to eat, but I will eventually.
One day.
And some excellent Febreze, or Lysol.
Acts as multi-purpose BO remover and attack deterrent.
That's true. That is true.
You spray that near a bear, and he's either his eyes are in pain or his nose is in pain.
Yeah, if you sprayed it near a bear, I don't know, he might just like start smoking a cigar, and
what?
being like, he'd be like, "I'm manly now." What? It's probably what would happen.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. You
know what? I can't. And I'm really not willing to test this theory either. So you got me. The bear probably would produce a cigar.
Yeah. I just want anybody who disagrees with that to prove me wrong.
Anyone who disagrees with me in general, go test this bear theory. See.
Go test it out. For reals though. Yeah, no, it would, for sure. We are getting distracted again. Colby's down. There are bears in Florida.
Oh, he's gone. We scared him.
Well, I think he's going to go test the bear theory.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure you have, like, your running shoes on. Just in case.
No, don't. Just see what happens. Have faith in Bryn's theory.
Yeah, have faith. Yeah, what do you guys? Jeez Louise. Smoke disagrees with what? What does Smoke disagree with? My running flip-flops.
Saying things so fast, and I don't remember any of them.
I
cannot remember what possibly Smoke disagrees connects to.
But like, I'm guessing bears.
Bears.
Smoke disagrees with bears.
My lungs.
Do you have any regular shoes, Colby, or do you just have flip-flops? Smokey the Bear. Do you have do you own any regular shoes at all, or is it just flip-flops? I don't.
I don't have a conceal or carry card, but I live in Louisiana. The state doesn't care. I've had the card that states I have a pacemaker. Yeah,
Stop!
I'm armed.
Stop! I have a pacemaker.
That's right. I can't ride roller coasters.
And I'm not over to use it. How am I going to use it? You just wait to find out.
If you've ever looked at me and wondered, can I safely ride a plane? The answer is kinda.
Smokey the Bear and cigars.
Okay,
yes.
okay. I'm sorry we ruined the smoke disagrees to say it. I just truly couldn't remember what I was saying.
Yeah, we are tired. Well, actually, I mean, it's just one of those where we have very little memory anyways.
It's just one of those days.
It's just one of those things. It's just one of those things. I have a pair of regular shoes and a pair of hiking boots. What?
And then 17 sandals.
He probably only has like 3 pairs of sandals that he just rotates. Or maybe 1. Maybe 2. 1 running sandal and 1 regular sandal.
I feel like there's like a bug. What am I? Aspen Gold? I feel like I have bugs crawling on me. It's okay. We're good.
Are you okay?
I'm so fine, actually. And we need to stop talking about it.
Okay. Like what kind of bugs?
It felt like there was it felt like there was a spider or an ant or something like crawling on my arm. It's okay. I'm just going through extreme withdrawals. It's fine.
Would you like the blanket of security?
No, I'm okay.
It's got a cat on it, so that helps.
Thank you.
They do take care of bugs.
I appreciate it. I'm good. Thank you, though.
This is like watching 2 ADHD goldfish having a nice sit down. It is remarkably similar to that.
It's pretty crazy that we have a topic and we've talked about it for 2 minutes.
This is why we do just chatting shows with very little topics most of the time, because neither of us are particularly good at staying on conversation.
No, Sully gets mad at me often because I pivot the conversation in the middle of hers, and I go, "My bad, didn't mean to do that."
Right. But it's so like you're just following the flow of conversation. Like I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, our topic was
yes, taboos. We should just pivot to a different taboo.
What was our taboo though?
It was not combat.
Oh, combat.
The same one we've been on for 15 minutes.
Right. Yeah, but this time for sure, guys. This time for sure. Why topic one discussion? See, that's what I think, Link. That's exactly what I think. I agree. Absolutely, I agree. I had a player one time completely shut down my character.
That's another.
Yeah, that really stinks.
I had Googled like taboos in this, trying to like look up for some like things people kind of complain about often, and that was like one of the big ones. Was like
it really is, yeah.
Make sure you're sharing the spotlight with other people.
Well, like shut down in what way? Like
that you had to make a new character after. Like,
yeah,
3
like
sessions.
so that's like yeah. In what way exactly did they shut them down? Because having I don't know. There's many meanings to the word shutting down my character. If they're just like talking over them, or if they disagree with basically everything say, or like, because there's a lot of, I don't know, how so, and how do you feel about that? I was a lawful evil witch, and he was a lawful good paladin, and he would just follow me around and not let me do anything.
Oh.
So, yeah, well.
You just had somebody who didn't let you have fun.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they are completely opposing, I mean, but like, okay, so like, just being the advocate, what is the devil's advocate over here? That could happen in real life. you have me, a lawful evil. I don't even know if I'm lawful evil. I'd be like a neutral evil witch. Neutral evil witch. Maybe chaotic evil.
You personally?
Yes, chaotic evil witch walking around, just doing things. My boyfriend follows me all the time and is like, don't do that. That's not good to do. Don't do that one. Maybe don't do that. And so, like, he doesn't let me do any of the things that I want to do. And I would like to make a formal complaint about that, actually.
I think you are more chaotic evil. When I think lawful evil, I think of, like, corrupt politician or corrupt pastor of some kind. Like, that's what I think of for lawful evil. I think you're more chaotic evil with what
Yeah, I am a bit chaotic evil.
You're the only person in the world to have texted me the day before, do you want to go to a trampoline park?
I think it was the day of.
It was the day of. Do you want to go to a trampoline park?
Of.
It was hours before it happened.
Yeah, hours before it happened, and then I peer pressured him so hard.
It didn't work.
It didn't work, but it was not like a light, like, would you like to go to the trampoline park? I'm like, you will miss out on the rest of your life.
I was like, I'm actively doing something else.
Yeah. The issue is the only tell for him on my alignment was that I threatened an entire audience in order to make an opponent surrender a fight we were losing.
So because it could it have been he just saw your character sheet and went off it too? Like,
yeah, I think this is a different, so kind of a different problem. Two problems. Two problems. One is, I think, getting in line, making a party that fits. That's always tough. Second of all is, where was it going with this? Dang it. We're making a party that fits, and then the second is...
overbearing player.
Gosh darn it. I got stuck on the first one. But, okay, so making a party that fits. So let's say you have a full party of, lawful good. It's one of the things that when we were playing Age of Ashes, Age was you have to have a good player, or else you just won't fit into the party. This party is, this is supposed to be adventurers who are, trying to do good for their community kind of thing. So, that fits the narrative of the story. So, and then the second thing, there we go. The second thing is people who can't separate what they know as a person versus what they know as a character.
That's a common one.
So that is a huge problem, and it's one of my least favorites.
That's another thing that you kind of have to learn, but that should not take people as long to learn.
It takes forever, and some people never get it. It is one of the most frustrating for me, because I'm like, you weren't there.
Yeah.
You weren't there. You don't know. Why are you being so suspicious? The whole reason that this is going to be hilarious is because we're going to do our thing right under your noses, and you can't do anything about it. Because you weren't there. You weren't there. And so that... oh my gosh, it annoys me so much when they're like, no, I was listening outside the door, and I'm like, no, you were not.
Did you make a duck noise at them?
Yeah, that's right. He thought he was being funny and he was having fun, but it wasn't for me. I tried to play it off, but gave up. Yeah, that is kind of annoying.
It's disheartening.
Well, and just for general, it's just reading the room is kind of tough too.
Yeah.
Manchar found the solution, just play his character within. So he's great at metagaming in that he's just plays a really smart character, and then he just knows everything all the time.
But there's a justification to it, right? If there's not a justification,
well, and
when I've played games and stuff, and my friends will run a combat with a monster that I know, that I recently read. Yeah. I have to push that out of my brain. I'm like, I know this, but my character doesn't, and I need to make sure I'm not utilizing it. Have we talked about griefing other players and saying it's what my character would do? It's kind of what we're talking about.
It is kind of what we're talking about, but it's kind of in the inverse. So we're currently talking about that we know something, and that we would be the character shouldn't really know it, and the character's just doing it instead of it's what I would do.
Yeah.
Instead of the other way. But that is also very annoying. So when someone's it's what my character, in sometimes it is fair. It is what their character would do, and it's just annoying. The only reason that ever really applies is if you're doing something that furthers the plot of what you're doing or enjoyment of some kind.
If a character chooses to fail a roll, if you as a player choose to fail a roll because you're my character would not have the strength to do this, emotional strength to pass this will saving throw or something like that. But if it's even just but I think it's the specific on griefing other players. Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of situations in where it's what my character would do that's why we're role playing.
Yes. Yeah.
But if it's specifically in griefing other players, if your character specifically hinders what other characters would do, bleh.
Yeah.
Bleh. But for the most part, that's what we're doing role play for, is so that we were acting what our characters would do. But Yeah, if it's like specifically, like Colby was saying, like it's actually interfering with how he wants to play his character, then it's like really a problem.
Or if you're doing like a murder, like if they're the one murder hobo in it instead of if the Age of Ashes party had a murder hobo.
Right.
That ruined the whole thing. Like, that's not...
Right. Well, but there's always... But it's all in, like, the way of doing it and, like, the respective of the characters. Because Derp's character was absolutely a murder hobo.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so, like, if you match your party, if you read your party, and you play along with how you want to fit into your party. I mean, it's like a gang of friends, right? If one of the gang doesn't fit in and doesn't get along with everybody else, they will no longer be a gang.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You don't, like, in Pathfinder, you're like, you're a party and you have to stay together because you're a party and you have to stay together. It's not as natural in the game because you have to stay together. But, like, he was great. Yeah, Derp was so creative to, like, do it under the table, and everybody realized that, and also was like, what does my character know?
Yeah.
And it's none of that. So, like, as a collaborative effort, it was very cool.
Yeah.
But AJ was very worried about that. He actually talked a lot about that he really, really didn't want any evil characters at all. And Derp fought hard to have his character evil. He fought super hard. And and AJ was like, I mean, if you can pull it off, but as soon as it doesn't work, it's not going to be allowed. Yeah. And he pulled it off great. Yeah. He pulled it off really well. So it's really just intent and respect for other players. I think most of the problems that are TTRPG taboos have to do with respect for others.
Yeah, kind of like what you were saying too, reading the room. Having some kind of empathy towards towards anyone else in the situation with you.
Yeah. Well, and the like, I don't know. There's just so many of the taboos, which is like, it's like speaking over someone's jokes, making everything about you, trying to make be the hero of the story.
Main character syndrome is a big one.
All of those are like the same thing. You just have to have respect for everybody else's characters as well. Or even just all the other players. Yeah. Because, like, I think once that falls, or if you have so much respect for your own opinion, then, I mean, it is a collaborative effort. Yeah. So, like, it's tough. But I think accepting other people for playing their character is important. Because, like, it can easily fall the other way, where people don't want them to play their character for it's what my character would do. Yeah. Because they're like, yeah, but that's not the most efficient way. And also, I don't feel like I felt a little bit of that in Abomination Vaults. Yeah. Where I wasn't an evil character in Abomination Vaults. I went off of Yzma and Hagrid. That was the inspiration. Supposed to be Yzma from Emperor's New Groove, who is definitely evil. Yes. But also, mostly for the voice and tone. But the character was supposed to be mostly off of Hagrid from Harry Potter, where he just loves the monsters. Someone needs to care for the monsters. Like, yeah. No, but they don't get any care. Like, the little centipedes, they're cute. They're just trying their best over here. So that was the inspiration for it. And I think because it wasn't aligned with most of the party, where they were like, we're in here to do the regular dungeon crawl stuff. Then I felt a little bit run over sometimes, just because I wasn't like the regular. I was like, this is what my character would do. Yeah. And then they were like, yeah, but that's not what we're doing. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. And that definitely plays into like the playing optimally kind of stuff. Because they're like optimal turns and stuff like that. Because there's playgroups that want to do everything optimal, but there's other playgroups that do just want to goof around and stuff. Right. Well, and even playing into it, so like I was just chaos. I was just a chaotic character. Like, I wasn't good or evil or anything, and I didn't try and derail the entire thing. I wasn't trying to derail, but very rarely was there much. There was very. I felt. Obviously, not that much. I had a great time playing. But I felt a little bit like very few people wanted to get involved with the stuff that I wanted to do. Yeah. They just wanted to continue on with the path. And I'm like, but okay, that's fine too, I guess.
Logan brings up my least favorite thing in the entire world.
Yes.
Never a fan of hearing another player go, you should have done this to someone at the table.
Gosh,
Gotta let folks go their own way.
It is awful.
And then the other direction of before it's your turn saying you should do this.
You should do this.
I'll kill you in real life.
I will also
do not do that to me.
I will also absolutely not do that now.
Even if it is the thing to do, it's not an option anymore. Because I do not tell me how to play my game with my silly little character.
Yeah. Out of spite, I will. Honestly, I may take that thing off of my character sheet. I may never do that again in my entire playthrough.
I genuinely find that more disrespectful of anything else than even if you just kind of like did. Even if what happened with Colby with the witch, in the Paladin, that can just be summed up to like that guy just does not understand social cues. I get that.
Yeah.
This is like. This is so incredibly rude that it's like, do not tell me how to play my own game.
Right.
Like this is for us to all play.
But I don't think, Colby, I don't think you tell people how to play. I mean, I thought Derp was exceptionally good at this. And who else? There was one, Matt was very good at this when he played as well. But there's a couple people that are quite good at reminding you or suggesting, like giving like little notes where it's like, I don't feel like I'm being told what to do. But like sometimes they're helpful. Oh, you can only do that if you're like, I don't want to be accurate. I just don't know the rules because I'm a little bit of an idiot. But like, so sometimes, a lot of times those things are very helpful. I'm not saying that you can't like be like, oh, right, that ability only goes off certain times or like something.
If there's like rule corrections.
Yeah, like that's totally fine. Like it's normally when it's just like, I don't know. I don't even have a good idea.
It's like,
but like it's literally just telling me.
If you were to tell me to go set you up so you can do something cool, then like, because I've had that happen a lot, where it's like they want me to spend my turn like prepping the monster
helping
or whatever.
A team. We're just like helping a team moment.
Yeah,
super.
That's fine. If you're wanting me to make you look cool and I'm just there to help you look cool, I'm not gonna do it.
Well, and also if it's just like this is the most optimal play, and if you don't do this, it's wrong.
Yeah.
That's what really annoys me, because I'm like, well, let me just tell you, none of my plays are optimal. So, if I'm going to blow up the room every single turn, that's just the way it's gonna be.
And it's just how sometimes you're made of fire, and that's the only thing you can't do.
That's just the way I am, I guess.
I'd only do something like that if it's something my character would say or do in the moment. Like that, even that itself there's a difference between like your character saying, can you do this? And somebody leaning over with their paper and my paper and scribbling on it or whatever. Hey, prototype, be my cool intro techniques when I walk into the boss room.
Yes! Absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Sure.
I'm absolutely.
I'll set you on fire.
I do.
You go get him, Tiger.
I do that anyways, so don't worry. I will absolutely do that. If it's something my character would say. Also, like, that's exactly it. So, like, you can really make it part of the game. Even if you're telling someone what to do. Like, let's say someone's like, I'm dying! Help! And then, like, that's like they're in the game and they're like, oh, they're probably dying and they need help. And then I can also run off of that and be like, yo, I understand what you're saying. And I really think you can die a little bit more before I go over there.
I think that boo-boo will be okay.
I think that boo-boo will be okay until next turn, because I got something really cool to do. And then it would be like, I don't know, like it ends up being...
We're also both just very averse to being
Boy,
told what to
howdy. Boy, howdy, yeah.
I don't like being commanded. Don't tell me what to do.
Right. But I mean, it's also like, I don't know.
Tone, like you're saying. Like
tone is everything. But like in character, I think there's a lot of moments we miss out on, like, things being said in character where that would happen in real life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, if it's said in character where it's just, like, if like, let's say, if MD is looking over at me all the time and he's like, could you stand a little way from Cammy when you explode?
Yeah.
I'd be like... Yeah, well, you know, that is something that I should do, probably. But it's, like, in character, and it's, like, something, like, MD would do. Like, it would actually be hilarious.
Yes.
But, like, I don't know.
Give yourself 10 feet.
Yeah, and, like, it'd be super funny. Like, so I don't know. There's a ton of ways to do it, but if it's directly... If it's just telling you what to do, oh my gosh, it's so annoying. I ended up, this is like the only time I've like shouted. I mean, I've shouted a couple times, but like on stream, I don't think it was streamed. It was one of the only streams we haven't. The audio was so bad. It was when we were first starting streaming, like way, way back when. It was just in the master bedroom of my house, and we had this set up and all this stuff. And we were just trying to get this off the ground, and we're in a group, and this guy needed healing, and I've never been a healer before, and he went down, and I healed him, and he went down, and I healed him again, and then he went down again in the same spot, doing the same thing, and he was like, use your 3-action heal, and I was like, don't tell me how to do my job!
You do something else! You
I'm like, oh my god! And I like shouted that in the room, and I was like, this is me in character, but no, this is me IRL. Like,
this is the catharsis of playing a character.
I'm gonna say that was in character because it was, but only because in that moment, me and my character were perfectly aligned.
The thought of a cleric saying, "Don't tell me how to do my job," it's really
screaming it at a person who's dead on the floor. Like, anyways, that's how that went. It was great.
When people either completely shut down or get aggressively angry when they constantly roll poorly. This is a social thing again. I'm not going to say names, but there's a few people in UGT who have admitted to doing this. Yeah. So, like, that is a very common thing. It is. It really is. And I've never... So I used to kind of have that issue. I wouldn't, like, shut down, but I would definitely get, like... my mood would shift once it happened. And then it was probably not another D&D podcast because it's the only podcast I listen to at this point. But somebody on some podcast was like, I see bad rolls as like an opportunity for the character. I don't see them as like me failing the gameplay. Once I heard that, then I'm like, okay, I can completely work with that. My character feels bad for missing so much. Now now their next little journey is like improving themselves. Well,
and I think especially when you think of it as a story. Like, I don't know. I think probably today I might have ran into a door. Like, do you know how much of an advantage I should have on walking through doors at this point in my life? Like, it should be unfailable. It should be unfailable. Yeah. I should be able to walk through a door on a nat 1.
You shouldn't have to make a check for that.
I shouldn't have to make a check. It should be an auto. Like, it should be an auto walk through a door. I should be able to do that. It's not. That's just how life is. So, like, I don't know. It's kind of fun. I think especially you in particular, because you have so much improv background.
Yeah.
Are really good at rolling with the punches.
Yes.
And I think it's something that people should just enjoy more. It's like the same as like, I know this sounds morbid, but when characters die, like I think people not enjoy the moment, but like feel the gravity of bad things happening. Because it makes the good things sweeter when things do happen. If you only rolled 20s, we wouldn't be playing a game.
Yeah.
We would just be telling a story. And so this gives variance to the story so that when you do actually, when Marcus does roll, amazing, then it's like, oh my
It's the most hype moment when Marcus rolls above a 10.
Yep. I mean, we all get a little upset. I get that. But a shift in mindset, you roll bad, that's just a story, and dice to tell. Yep. Marcus and 8, and Marcus is a trooper. That man rolls terribly, and he's great about it.
It's so crazy how good he is at.
He's so good.
It's crazy how bad he rolls and how good he is at not letting it get to him.
Yep. You learn nothing in success. Wrong. I learned that I succeeded, and I should do that again. So first of all, no.
Never mind anything we just said for the last 15 minutes. It's all wrong. Only winning. That's how you learn.
That's how you learn. I'm just saying that you can also learn through failure. But I mean, I do like winning. Winning's nice. Oh. DC 5 on a level 10. Just don't roll a 1. But I don't know what happened, man. Like, I can't remember who was walking. I did something really bad today where I was just like, you'd think I would have that down by now, and I didn't, apparently.
I think I, as a human being, would understand
I would understand that now. Like, no, I guess no. I learned nothing. You're welcome. You're welcome. What does success even mean if there is no failure?
It's like maybe it's just because I like being razzed. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
funny when people kind of make fun of me, so I'm also
Yeah.
more okay with, like, failure
Yeah.
and that stuff.
Yeah.
But it is just, there's
But
this is like a side thing, but it circles back to this. It was, I remember where I heard this story. There's a story of someone hearing two people arguing about Star Wars.
Wait.
And they were just going back and forth on like the lore of it and stuff. And then another guy just goes, dude, it's a movie about space wizards. It doesn't matter. Like, and it's like, once I heard that, then I started applying that to this logic too of like, we're just pretending and rolling dice. This isn't, my life's not different by the end of the day. So it's just, you just roll with it. Roll with the punches.
Well, and especially, like, I mean, especially because we are trying to, like, role play a character and not a hero.
Yeah.
So, like, it's okay for things to go wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's the same thing as not having an optimal turn. I think people, once they accept that you're just in the moment doing whatever happens to be at the moment, sweet. Then I think the whole game gets actually much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Just because you're just, like, doing whatever happens to be fun at the time. Which is why I'm a chaotic person and a chaotic character, because I just do whatever seems fun at the time.
Which is also why I chose a character who has only AoEs and no means of avoiding those.
Is that what your character does?
My character we haven't seen a ton of it, but he just does
That's
AoEs.
Me too.
Like, he's just AoEs. Anyone that's too close to him will be engulfed in flames.
We're literally the same character. This is why we're great teammates.
It was like you had the light fire theming, and then I was like, I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah. My character has blown up the party 4 times now. And without fail, it's been in, like, I think every fight.
And I took that personally. I'm here to one up.
Yeah,
that
he's
more.
like, wait a minute now.
I'm gonna do that even more.
I had a GM have a random NPC put my character in manacles.
SA.
And
God.
SA. What is SA?
I don't know how to say it, so like it's demonetized. Crudely assaulted.
Oh, whoa. When I looked around for a job, first he didn't let me do anything to escape. I just had to sit through it.
Oh my god, dude.
What, are they insane?
Oh my god, did you kill him in real life? You should.
Yeah, like, did you
Oh my
leave?
god, that's
'Cause
such a nightmare.
Horrible. Are you not friends with them, like, IRL, right? Because, like, they sound like terrible people.
What is the circumstances for this? Like, was this like you just picked up like a game at a game store?
Yeah, like, have you
Was this
never...
like a friend of a friend?
I would never talk to that person again.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
you should leave.
Are
you in a safe space?
I hope you're okay,
like...
and I hope that person's not in your life anymore.
Yeah, and please don't play with them ever again, because that sounds awful. I'm not friends with them anywhere. Yeah, gosh, that's terrible.
Yeah, I hope you have much better friends than
yeah, that sounds
at
awful.
this moment. Whew.
That's horrible, and it used to be your friend. Wow, I'm really sorry about that, because that sounds really awful.
I, honest to God, would never play another game again. Like, if that was like my first time, I'd be like,
I don't know if I'd ever play a role-playing game again, because that's awful.
Oh.
That sounds horrible. That sounds really horrible.
The chat, it's also like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, they're like, I am so sorry.
I'm
that's
putting
really
myself
horrible.
in that situation, and like, my skin's crawling thinking about it. Like, oh.
I don't know if I would just leave. Like, that's bad. That's awful.
I'd get violent.
You're right?
I would get so pissed immediately.
Yeah, that's awful. Yeah, I would just leave. Like, I don't know in the moment. What's really odd about these kind of things is that, like, in the moment, the shock value is so high that it's hard to recognize what's happening until...
That's true, yeah. We're out of it.
After. We're out of it. So I'm sure in the moment it's like, what do I do? Like, oh my gosh. But still, that is awful. I'm really sorry about that.
We got a couple things.
Go, yeah. Oh, wait.
Jade Tempest. In
Starfinder, I warned the rogue all the time not to stand next to my Solarian. I blew them up so much because they never seem to remember. Well, that could honestly also be a great learning experience.
Nobody quite in Secrets has fully learned that lesson yet.
Yeah, it's a thing.
That is a GM horror story. Like that. We should do a GM horror story one.
Okay,
that'd be a good Tuesday show.
That would be a good Tuesday show.
Somebody has a great submission.
The only GMs I have ever played with is AJ.
Yep.
Who's a great GM. And then Sully.
Yep, it's true. Yeah, I
And
haven't
then
GM for
Nick.
you. I haven't GM for you, have I?
So, I don't really have any DM horror stories. I'm like an incredibly privileged at the TTRPG
Maybe
player.
that's one where we all find like Reddit stories or something like that
Yeah.
and read those.
I don't
Or
know
you fan
if
submitted
it's as
ones.
bad as the Dreamers. That's awful. That's honestly like disheartening. That's
Yeah.
so terrible. I don't know if I would want to read them. I would have to have someone pre-read them for me because I'm a delicate.
I
I
can
am kind
vet
of a
them.
delicate soul.
I can vet them.
You should vet them.
I'll
That's a
vet
good
them.
idea. That's a good idea. That is, yeah, because that's horrible. That's awful. I think, I don't know. There's a weird spot because it's like, there has to be an agreement. One of the nice things about having a show is that we go into this with boundaries laid out.
Yeah.
So, like, we have a general idea of what we expect of people, and I think more people should do that before starting games.
Session 0 is so important.
It's really
Session
important.
0 is crucial.
Well, and I think Session 0 should be expanded for a lot of people. I think it's just creating character, and I think having almost a code of conduct, I think GMs should take it upon themselves about having a code of conduct
Yeah.
on what they expect from their players and what the players should expect from. This would help so many of these issues.
Yeah.
Is having what should be expected from the GM. Because if you're like, this is not going to be a heavy role-playing game, if you want to come in here with your person and just role-play the whole time, you might get run over. Because these are min-maxer, crunchy people. And they just won't get along. So, like, I think that's on the GM a little bit to set those boundaries at the beginning.
Yeah.
Matt is great. I love him. He's phenomenal. I've been trying to get him down here. He just lives very far away. Don't worry, you can't hurt the party.
Ooh. Don't worry, Corey. You can't hurt the party more than Bryn, and you took that personally. I did.
Yes, absolutely. Nebula says, I have never had bad GM experience. I also have almost played with majority of women players, which is so cool.
Sounds nice.
That's so cool.
Sounds
honestly,
lovely,
really
honestly.
lovely. I would love to play with you sometime. I grew up role-playing.
Maladaptive daydreaming.
There you go. Yes, that's a great word for it, and I'm glad you can read. But I've had anxiety around playing with other people, and I would absolutely too.
That's
That is for sure real. Like, I would absolutely have the same anxiety. I don't know if I would ever play again, so, like, kudos on you for being a stout person, because
I honest to God hope you've played again and played with other
Right.
people, because
Yeah.
like that's having
Right.
that experience itself is horrible.
Yeah.
But like that kind of has ramifications. Like Logan said in chat, it's horrible that somebody made you imagine that. Like, it was
that's
like
horrible.
It's like that's a horrible thing to make somebody like pick.
Absolutely horrible. When I worked at a hobby shop, we encouraged GMs running games in shops to use consent sheet for content people were okay with participating in. Normally nothing too crazy in public, but still. Yeah.
Yeah, that's also the, like, especially if you're doing like public games like that where you're joining a bunch of people, those are the
Right.
ones that really need them, and that's
Yeah.
often where you hear a lot of those horror stories of people just
Yeah.
doing kind of whatever.
Yeah.
And just being that's where that's what my character would do, and that's where
Right.
they live. Like
That's
that
where
is
they
just
live.
because they just want to
Yeah.
be little edgelords.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That is very true. Like, I think when I was talking about that's what my character would do, I was leaning too hard on, like, for, like, regular reoccurring game people.
Yeah.
Where if it is, like, the randos, you can absolutely get into that's what my character would do, and I'm like, that's not acceptable. So many snacks and dinners around our tables. Yes, I know.
Nebula's having just a wildly different experience.
So
I'm
good.
so envious.
So good. The only bad GM I had was just a matter of not knowing the rules and trying to modify them on the fly and didn't work out. Yeah, that's very fair.
That's also
That's
yeah.
very fair.
That's also.
And I don't think
warning.
people realize that's going to be a problem until they get into it, and then they're like, oh.
Yeah.
Right, the rules are there for a reason.
They aren't necessary.
Ooh. So going back to code of conduct, so I was in I really love doing improv. I know he's like an expert improv. He could be a professional. But I normally just do like the very, very casual Tuesday night improv fun stuff in town or whatever. And they started a new one up in Gainesville, and they recently discovered that they needed a code of conduct.
Yeah, I remember this.
Because they were like, oh yeah, people are just cool, and they'll just kind of be respectful of others. And then they were like, oh, but what they have learned that is funny is very crude
Edgy
and
humor.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
And that's what they would roll with whenever they got nervous. They would just default back.
Yeah.
And it's really tough to get out of that, especially in an improv group. They had to shut down the group for a while.
Are they back up, by the way?
Yeah, they're back up.
Good.
And running. But that was kind of a tough, and I'm like, it's really like setting boundaries early and hard makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's people's default is always Logan's an improv because I met him through improv. He's also a big improv
Oh
fan.
yeah. Which you can tell.
Yes. But it's like the place where I learned improv and also Logan learned some as well is like they are very much like PG, keep it as PG as possible.
Right.
And that really kind of helps you get out of that like
yeah,
I need
you
to
don't
swear
default.
to be funny because like you said, people's default is always people's two defaults are being excessively crude and bringing up like your crotch all the time and then swearing a ton. Like they'll just swear so much and it's like a cuss word every now and then can be funny. But like it's like if you're just doing it just to say it and you think that's funny, then you're not going to do anything different.
Yeah. Well, and then it'll get old, so they'll go harder.
Yes.
And I'm like,
doubling down is not the way. It's not the way out of that.
Oh gosh. So my group is Nebula playing Malevolence. Honestly, Nebula, I love your life. You have a great life. First of all, I had a great time with Malevolence. Super lovely campaign. It's kind of a shorter, if anybody's looking for a campaign that's like a little bit more munchable. Malevolence is long enough to like get into the story without being there for 4 years.
It gets like less than 20 episodes. It's pretty
and we were not fast.
But Malevolence does require big content warnings.
It does.
There's some stuff Sully's told me about what she's cut out since then. And I'm not going to say it just in case, I don't know if you're playing or if you're running it with Nebula, but it's like there's some intense topics inside of Malevolence.
Yeah. And it really just has to be like just stated at first, like where the boundaries are and what to expect, and then you really have a good time. The only bad GM, this is Jaded Tempest. The only bad GM I had was doing a homebrew game, and it was so boring. Oh gosh, I'm talking to level 10 to 14 and 3.5. We were all we're doing is just digging underground and going through tunnels and looking for the MacGuffin. 4 levels of digging in the dirt.
What was this setting?
Yeah, what
Your
what
children
campaign?
in the coal mines.
What campaign was
the
this
longer
also?
you survived, you leveled up. Like, what is this? Does every Malevolence campaign come with a little frog, or is that just us? As far as I know, that's just us, but Nebula could set the precedent.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. AJ had a content warning sheets, and we were also encouraged to fill in what we weren't comfortable with the original class. That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Hey, Nebula, can you adopt me? I would like to play Path.
Right? Nebula, how big is your area? Because, like, I'm just saying...
You have to cook a lot more, it sounds like.
But you'd have very happy friends.
Yeah, AJ did content warnings, I think at the beginning of Aeons, and then I generally knew my players knew what they wanted, but like I did just go over like, I mean, one of the things I said was like straight up, I was like, we're not gonna have to worry about like SA, like we were just talking about, like we're not gonna ever have to worry about that. That's not something I have any interest in ever discussing, because it's super uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think Strange Islands is the first campaign where AJ was like, this will be a little bit intense because this is a high drama one, and so if it's too much, like be sure. He's been pretty good with trying to like really. Like check in with everybody because it is kind of a high drama and it's kind of a high emotion one where you're in situations that are just brutal, like especially from a psychological standpoint, and it just ends up being he's been trying to check in a lot because it is kind of a little bit of a more risky.
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy topics.
A lot of heavy topics.
A lot of heavy topics in there.
Yeah,
I'm running it. They just uncovered Anatoly's room. Which I think is the
yes. Lady? No, I thought Anatoly's room was wasn't Anatoly the kid or no?
Was Anatoly? No, because wasn't it 2 kids? Or is Anatoly the bird, the little bird boy?
Yeah, which is the name? My name, I'm terrible.
I'm so bad at names. Every person we met in there, I was like, oh no, you're bad.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh no.
It's okay.
I think Anatoly was the bird boy.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Anatoly was heartbreaking.
I was like, that was so tough. That was really tough, especially playing a mother in the campaign. I was like, no, we can't.
Playing an 8-year-old boy and then seeing the body of an 8-year-old boy, I was like, oh no.
Oh no, yeah.
Nebula, I think we're building a compound around you and kitchen assistants.
Sure, all is welcome around our table, which is very nice of you. Thank you, Nebula. Remind Sully of that. What are we reminding Sully of, Sully?
I think we're reminding Sully of
Something.
This
is why we are
Usain.
just tragic.
I'm sorry we keep
We're
doing this
just
to you,
tragic.
Usain.
We do this all the time. It's a problem. We're just idiots. It's okay. Yeah, then it was like, honestly, like a lot of the campaigns have a lot of sketchy topics.
Yeah.
Like you just had to be really aware of them, I think.
It's also like AJ and I have talked about this at length recently about like how to properly navigate a lot of those like really heavy topics and make sure you're not ruffling any like feathers too much, because there's a degree in some stories where it's like you kind of want to ruffle feathers just because that's part of the story, but like you need to make sure your audience knows that it'll be okay.
Well, and there's a lot to be said. There's a lot to be said about being explicit and fading to black. Because there's a lot that can happen while fading to black where in theory, something weird is happening or something like or whatever. Even if it's like, obviously there's within limits or something. But for like, I don't know, gruesome scenes or whatever, you can just have the general idea it was a bad time.
Yeah.
You don't need to know all that nonsense. It was bad and it was terrible and nobody liked it. And now you're coming back and you're gonna recover from that terrible.
Yeah, especially like with AJ Faded Black during the torture, especially like with that and like Malevolence, right? It's like those are with horror stuff. That's especially when you want to fade to black. Like that's the common thing is like don't show like for anything with the horror stuff. Like you want your mind will think of the scariest thing possible and fill in those blanks. So it's like for
and whatever you're comfortable with. Like honestly, your brain will provide you with what you like think should be there. Which if you don't think, if you get to, it's just you, man. Chill. My players didn't fight him. They comforted him and reassured him that he would be reunited with his mom as soon as they stopped the dining party. Yes, I like it. Excellent work. Excellent work. We tried.
We tried.
We did try.
He got better.
He did kind of get better. We locked him in a room.
Kind of had a lot. Well, he was feral. He was extreme. We went back for him. We went back and we comforted him. We would check in on him.
Yeah. And then we left.
And I felt bad.
And then we left.
And it totally was just a sad little...
It was a thing.
He was a sad little boy. Reminds Lily she is in a safe place. If there's things are wrong, she could say something and not just cry in the corner. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So Sully is fine. She's just emotional.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm an emotional person, so she'll cry.
What's also nice about Sully is that she enjoys living in the moment of the scene. So, like, she's, like, much more of a theater nerd than most of us.
Yes.
And she really does enjoy getting into the scene and feeling what's happening there. Mm-hmm. Which is much respect for me, because, like, that is very difficult to do. Yeah. Especially in front of other people who are not big theater people.
Right.
Because, like, I've never taken a theater class in my life. And so, like, it's so cool to have her in the scene. It makes it feel much more real.
Yeah.
And like really honestly we should practice that more because she's phenomenal. Shout out to Sully. She's phenomenal. Excellent work, Sully. You're the best. And really do like add gravity to a lot of situation where generally we kind of skip over a lot of the stuff.
It's also props to her for that too, because it's like like I'm improv trained, like I know how to do comedy and stuff like that. But she's very good at those drama scenes, especially, and like it's those are difficult for me specifically because I'm like writer brained. I think of what the scene needs, and then I'll kind of like act on that, but I don't ever like emote properly. But she's also like she's so good at like emoting and showing the emotion on her face and stuff. Yeah. So just more and more props to Sully. More roses.
They set him with art supplies because we have a champion of Shaylin. Excellent. To help calm him, make him not feel alone.
Oh, that's sweet.
Awesome.
We should have done that. There was a lot of art supplies we could have used.
Yeah, we could have done it.
We could have really handled him a lot better than we did.
But we tried our best, guys.
We wanted to. It was not from a lack of desire.
We should have a Sully super cool and awesome talented party. Well, it's her birthday.
It is her birthday
at some point soon. So I think that's kind of what birthdays are for, actually.
I have to throw another party, don't I?
Yep. And it's going to be a Sully super cool and awesome and talented party. So
themed.
Good luck. Good luck.
She also skipped the vacation episode.
Did unfortunately skip the vacation episode, but that's okay.
It's okay. She's on vacation.
Yeah,
She's having a different vacation.
That's what I'm saying.
Cammy just needed some sleep.
And she's gonna get back to an incredibly fun party. So, like, she's gonna be like, "Who are you people? Why are you so enthusiastic?"
I heard you guys got a stuffed camel or something. So, like,
yeah,
that's
we got
pretty
all
sick.
the cool stuff. We did immediately sent the stuffed camel overseas, but we still have it.
World traveler.
Yeah,
he's on his own odyssey. Okay,
it's fine.
Sent him overseas.
We did. We mailed him back home. So I guess. That's probably the closest to what that was.
Wait, where did you mail him to?
To another character from that. Like, we left wherever you were.
Yeah.
What is that? Wherever that place. And we went to the new place.
Yeah.
And the new place was like a 2-week ship journey. And we just mailed him back.
Oh, says it went to winter.
Oh, and one for Cammy. You did get 2. You
okay.
did get 2. So there's one for Cammy. There's one for Cammy, apparently. That's very nice. Sully's gonna be super happy about it.
Just thinking of like this very serious character like dealing with a ton of like heavy topics, and then just an Amazon package with a camel inside of it. It's like, what?
Yeah.
No letters addressed to it, like saying who it's from or what it's for.
Yeah. You know what I should do? Yeah, okay, so like people used to send postcards.
Yeah.
What I should do is just send totally random gifts to people. Like, it could be anything. It could be a yo-yo.
Yeah.
And be like, here you go.
Somebody did that to Nick and Jen. Jen specifically, where they just kept sending her, like, mugs or something.
Yeah, just, like, random things. And that actually worked really well because they were really confused. And also, like, every once in a while, you just have a surprise gift on your doorstep. And they weren't expensive or anything. They were just, like, random little objects.
In a handwritten letter from the most melodramatic org.
Oh, that works out too. Wait. We're getting way off topic.
Taboos.
Taboos. Okay. It's been so long since we were on topic for this that I totally forgot. Baby. I totally forgot that this was a stream that was targeted at a specific topic. Anybody have any other taboos that I can't even think of any.
Getting off topic is taboo.
What have we even got? What did we go through?
All right, so far from what I remember from our established goldfish memory is
smelling,
not preparing your combat,
right?
Overtaking characters.
Mm-hmm.
What's the words I'm looking for? Is telling somebody what to do on their turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't smell, Logan.
Yeah, don't smell.
Don't inhale with your nose.
Yeah, not allowed. Mouth breathing only.
Only mouth breathing. only mouth breathing.
Only mouth. Table. You have to taste the smells.
Right. Yep.
We just have the worst podcast in the world.
Yeah.
Just being 6 mouth breathers.
Yep. I like it. Being late to the session. I think that's a respect thing.
Yeah, that's a big respect thing.
I don't think being late to anything.
Same with constantly flaking on sessions.
Those are both respect things.
Yeah.
Because I don't think... I mean, it's the same with going out to dinner. You set a time. People make their schedule. They get dressed. They do all the things. They set their time. And if you're late, you just disrespected their time. So they could have been doing other things.
I feel so bad when I'm late for anything.
Yeah.
I feel racked with guilt whenever I'm late for something.
Me too. And I normally apologize profusely. And I really try not to be late. And then flaking is, like, terrible. Because, like, come on, just man up and say you won't be there.
Yeah.
A lot of that's just like, I don't want to tell them. I don't want them to be upset with me. So I'm just gonna flake. And that's way worse than just telling them.
Early equals on time equals late equals unacceptable. See, I'm more of a on time is on time. I try not to even get there early, but that also plays into my extreme introversion and fear of socializing in general. So I just go, I'm on time, then I leave.
The respect covers most problems, I would say. It really does. Yeah. It does cover, like, almost everything.
If you take nothing else from this before we go on our next tangent, respect and empathy really get you a long way.
Yeah. Well, and there's a lot of respect, empathy, and then also, like, hubris.
Hubris, yeah, that's fair.
It's like a real thing. I don't know. Just don't take yourself so seriously.
Just remember, we're all playing pretend and rolling dice. It's fine.
Yeah. We should have. We should try and have a part. It should be you, me, Logan, Sully when she's had a lot of coffee. We should have a chaotic party.
Just like as pure insane as we can get.
Just like us as we regularly are.
Yeah.
And a character that's just
we'd have to give Sully a 5-hour energy.
Yeah,
right
we'd have to give her
start.
we just did a little something, and then she'd be like wired. And then we'd tape her down to the chair so she didn't vibrate out the door. And then Brett. That'd be a good one.
Brett, if we just unleash Brett for a little bit.
And we just ham it up, guys. Let's go. I think the 5 of us could do some serious shenanigans.
We just give AJ just a one shot, and we just all get extremely hyped up beforehand and see what happens.
I don't know what we like. I don't know what the one shot would be, and good luck, AJ, for keeping up. But
we give Sully a 5-hour energy. I watch 3 episodes of One Piece and then play Smash Bros. For 45 minutes.
Yeah, the best episodes of One Piece. Play some Smash Bros.
So I'm weeping, but then also extremely angry from playing Smash Bros.
Yes.
I very clearly just finished crying. and now I'm ready.
Yeah.
Robin proclaimed she wants to live, and I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Well, and I think we should play real characters that just are a lot.
We should make
extra characters.
We should make each other's characters. We just rotate them all to the right.
Oh my god, and we can't tell anybody. Logan, close your ears.
Logan, shut up.
Close your ears right now. You cannot listen to this. But we should just do a surprise. So we should. And what is that thing? There was a game show where everybody made their own thing and they worked really hard. Oh, it wasn't a game show. It was. AJ played this game. It was 10 Candles.
Yes.
And we worked really hard on our things, and we're and this is what we want, and this is who we're gonna be, and all this stuff. And then and then he was like, okay, on your character sheet to the next person, and we were like, what? And it was half the character sheet to the person on the left and half the character sheet to the person on the right. So we could totally do that. We could do, okay, Logan, you can open yours.
Oh, if we did the Jenga system that we always talk about, Dread, whatever it's called. Dread. If we did that too, so as we're extremely hyper, having to move Jenga pieces off of a tower.
Yeah, I like this. Oh, look, Logan, he can hear again. Excellent. He's got ears.
One picks race, another picks class, and pass it down.
Yeah, I think just a random
Robin style. Well, is there a random button on Path Builder? D&D Beyond has a random button that just fully randomizes whatever.
I don't know if this is what the Jenga thing is, but I really think if you picked off pieces from the Jenga and each of them had a thing listed on it. Each tile, you'd pick a tile. That could be how we start stream. It's you'd pick a tile and it'd be you are, and it'd be and it would have a descriptive thing on it. I think that'd be really fun. Although it wouldn't make a character, you'd be an elf dwarf.
Elf dwarf leveled 17. Yeah. All right. I guess.
And you'd be and then you'd have 7 weapons. You'd draw all of the weapons. Nobody else would have weapons. You'd be the only one with weapons.
That's the fun part about the D&D Beyond randomizer is that it does make them truly unplayable. It does not take any consideration of class balancing or anything. Yep. It is a true random, here's some items, good luck.
We should do that. We should totally do that. And then just none of us know rules anyways.
We call it the caffeine episode.
Yes.
AJ could make up rules the whole time and be oh, okay.
Yeah, he would just have to roll with our punches. And he's great at that, so that'd be super. I think we should do something like that. I think that'd be fun. We'd have a killer crew. But I do think it would be fun to make actual characters that were real people.
My 4-2 strength warrior was a sight to behold. Nice. You heal them whenever you hit with an axe.
Yes. Oh yeah, taboo things. Right. What were we tabooing again? What was the last taboo topic?
I give up. We're just talking about whatever.
It was being late.
Yeah, don't
Does
be
anybody
late.
else have any taboo topics? I don't know. Is there any? I mean, most of them are kind of covered, right?
I think we did it all. I think we solved everything.
Did we solve the world now? I think part of them. I think I had more that were like real player to player conflict.
Self-inserts into every role play. Okay, actually, hang on, because self-inserts annoy me a bit, but the thing that annoys me the most is when they play the same character and
over and over again.
And it's both like when they play literally the same character, I think that's lame. And then when you play the same character, but it's a different name.
Yeah.
Like
or when it like slowly transformed into the same character, and I'm like, pay attention!
Yes.
You are getting the same character again. Grabbing other people's dice without permission is annoying. I don't really mind, but I know other people like really don't like it at all. Spotlight hogging can be a problem.
Yeah, main
that is super. Let them shine. Let them have their moment. But like interplayer problems are big taboo. Like I don't know. I think there's a lot of bullying that can happen as a player and not a character.
Yeah.
That I think are like big taboos on like outside. There's I don't know. There's like a lot of problems, but those are just like interpersonal issues. So like I don't know. Really, that's just gonna happen sometimes.
People will beef with each other, and there's not much you can do.
There's not a whole lot you can do about that. And just hope for the best. I mean, people just getting 5 people in a room, they're gonna have disagreements. That's just how it is. The rogue that steals from the party.
It's like the second or third time it's been brought up. So this is a real issue that's happened a lot.
I didn't realize that actually happened. I didn't think that was a thing that happened.
It used to have a rule about having to play a different racing class if you die.
I think he probably still would have that rule if it were a problem, but I've never considered anybody having the same.
Yeah.
The problem is we're a show.
Yeah.
Also. So, like, if you play the same race and class, nobody's gonna be able to tell you apart. Yeah. I think, who was it? I think it was JT ended up dying and he played his brother. But it was, like, the whole shtick.
Yeah.
Is that it was, like, the same... Was it JT? I don't know, someone. He played the same character and he'd go back and play the same character, and it was basically his uncle and his brother and his... And it was, like, a whole... It was a bit. So it worked out. But, like, phone is also annoying just because they won't pay attention, but that's a respect thing as well.
It's a respect. That's also that goes into like any board game.
Anything. You go out to dinner with someone, you're on the phone the whole time. I'm like, get off your phone.
Frankly, I'm guilty of that because I'm an addict, but I've been trying to be better.
I'll kick you under the table. Yeah, whatcha?
I don't like stay on my phone, but I do just kind of have my phone out and I do check it kind of without thinking about it.
Yeah.
And that's just my Zoomer brain.
When they ask what's going on, drives me up the wall. It drives me up the wall. First of all, when they ask what's going on, it's the same thing with movies.
I was going to say, if you ask me what's happening in a movie, I will kill you.
I will kill you, and I will probably move to go sit somewhere else because it annoys me so much.
It honestly annoys me when I'm in the theater and then somebody goes pee and then they come back and ask me what happened. I'm like, you missed it. Like I'm not gonna. I can't spend 15 minutes explaining.
Yeah, what am I gonna say? Like I gotta explain the movie. That's a movie. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Ask what's going on. It's also like I can understand in the moment. A lot of times I won't hear what other people are saying because I'm thinking so damn hard. Like I'm surprised there's not a layer of ozone in this room with how hard I think during sessions. I'm exhausted after these because like, boy howdy, I can barely keep up with everything that's happening the whole time. So I'm sorry,
I read the comment. You finish your thought, then we can get to it. I'm sorry.
Oh no, what is it?
I gave a survey before a campaign to the question, what did you find fun in RPGs? One player answered, making people do things they don't want to do.
Wow.
Yo, you should meet that GM from we talked about earlier.
Wow, guys.
Oh my god. What is it with people?
What is this?
Why do you want to force somebody into your perverse little ideas? It's so weird.
Yeah, that is terrible.
That's not collaborative storytelling. That's you want to write a book, and you want to write a book nobody wants to read. Yeah. So go write your pervy little book, and that's it.
It's so weird. How do we feel about characters' backstories that are super extra dragon slayers? Now this comes back to hubris.
Yes, absolutely.
So
that player is doomed to die at level 1.
Yeah, so like if they're level 1, they gotta be okay with looking really stupid for like 18 levels.
Yeah.
So like that can be hilarious. But I don't think people mean it to be hilarious, and I think they get really offended.
Yeah,
That's when they get salty about their bad rolls.
Yeah.
And that's when they gotta watch out.
I think the best way to do it that way specifically is if you're playing an old person who was the super epic Dragon Slayer, and now you've been out of the game for too long, so you're like, all right, level 1 again.
There's not
Or if you're
enough.
doing like, I'm pivoting, I was a level 20 cleric, now I'm a level 1 rogue. Like, if it's like, you want to do it that way.
Right. There's not enough old people in RPGs because there's so much.
Yeah.
There's so much you could do with that.
5 ranks in deception performance. The story may have been blown up a little bit, but it wasn't a dragon, just a small little lizard. It was the Geico gecko that you actually slayed.
Yeah. I mean, some people capturing, like for me, if I captured a cockroach in my house, it would be an epic tale for the ages.
It's funny, like the default thing like that for like I slayed the dragon and now I'm level 1. The equivalent is like for like new players, the 2 things I see the most are like that, and then I have a demon or something in me that makes me also evil. Like it is always like it's the 2 most common like new player backgrounds are I already am a hero or I have a second personality.
Right.
It's very odd.
Right. Well, I also have trouble with the loner people who are like, I don't talk to anyone and I don't want to interact with anyone and I don't want to be part of this party. And I'm like, then why are you here? Like,
I want to be the cool lone wolf.
I'm not going to talk to anybody and I don't want to be friends with anybody in the party and all this stuff. And I'm like,
all right, you want to be the protagonist.
Okay.
All right.
Well, there's, go play, what is it, that game, what is the thing? Baldur's Gate.
Go play Baldur's Gate.
Go play Baldur's Gate.
Go enjoy your game of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, like, it's no problem. But it's just weird to go and, like, want to be...
I sit in the corner of the tavern.
Which is, like, is fine. And then, like, I don't know, you also want to be involved. So I'm like, well, do you, though?
It's like when people who play the loner either just want to be Cloud from Final Fantasy VII or want to be Batman.
Right.
It's just like that doesn't work.
It doesn't work in like a group setting.
Yeah.
It just doesn't, like, there are times when it, like, and again, all of these can work. These can work. It's the same with Dirt being evil in Age of Ashes. It can work if you are great at reading the room and you know how to do things. I'm not saying it can never work, but for the most part, if you're playing a loner in a group setting, it does not work very well.
Yeah, the only way I've seen the like I don't want to be part of this group work is if you're playing like a hoity-toity character and you're kind of made for laughs.
Right.
Like you you don't want to do that, but you like you're high ground, low ground. Right. Like you're taking the high ground, but you're being a doofus about it. Like that's the best I've seen that work.
Yeah. Or I've seen it work. I've also seen it work if it's like an old, aged guy that doesn't really want to be there, but has some like
obligation,
or if there's like some other party member who's like his brother's dog wants to go on a tap, and he's like, okay,
Fido is ready for the big journey.
He's like, I'll go protect this idiot, and then he's like, what are you doing with your life? And that can be like pretty funny, but still, I don't know. The fighter that's 3 weeks away from retirement, that's exactly it. They just have one last job, and they're like, oh gosh, not again.
I captured the Tesseract cockroach that was attacking the town in my living room. And after a week, 7 minutes of epic battle, I slayed it, smacked it with a newspaper.
That is exactly what I'm talking about, Hussein. Excellent work. That's me. That's what happens when I walk in with my level 1 character and I have a level 20 backstory. That's me.
Is the Tesseract the blue cube from the Avengers? Is that what I think that's what the blue cube of the Avengers was. Played a sorcerer who didn't awaken his power until he was in his 40s. That's funny.
Oh, nice.
Like that. There's. It's fun to play old people sometimes.
I love old people. Yeah, absolutely. I do like the cockroach thing because that's totally reasonable, and it would be really funny. Like, I don't know. Hits remarkably close to home for most people.
If you're also playing legally distinct Godzilla.
What is it?
Tarrasque.
Oh, Tarrasque. Oh,
the Tarrasque would be legally distinct King Ghidorah. But let's not get into my other nerdy topic that I can talk about for 75 minutes straight. They teased the new Godzilla vs. Kong movie like a month ago, and it doesn't come out like next year, but I'm still watering at the mouth. I think they're.
We should go.
Oh, we absolutely should.
Go. I really enjoyed the last one.
They're re-releasing Shin Corey with the actually Kaiju, yeah. They're re-releasing Shin Godzilla in theaters in August. And that one is great. It's not a dumb turn your brain movie. It has a lot of great destruction movies, but destruction scenes, but it is there he goes talking about Godzilla. I just thought Bryn would enjoy to hear this one. This is a Godzilla movie that I think you would like, but there is it is great Godzilla destruction stuff with some of the best Godzilla destruction scenes I've ever seen, mixed with a very good political drama. It is fully an excellent political drama, and then Godzilla shows up. So it's I don't know where you stand on political dramas, but at the very least, you would enjoy the 15-minute compilations of Godzilla destroying the town.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I really enjoyed the last Godzilla we went to. That was awesome. It was such a good time.
It's so fun. I love Godzilla.
It was so fun. It was so awesome.
One day we're gonna do the Tuesday stream where we just get everybody who talks about their passions for too long. We'll do it because we talked about that with Secrets of Getting Gary on for WWE.
Yeah, right. Gary and Sully. We should just have a Gary and Sully stream.
And Logan too. Logan also loves WWE.
Yeah. They can have their own little powwow and knock it out. They have 18 hours. I think that's a good time limit.
I could watch Godzilla try to pass legislation in Parliament.
That would make
Your Honor. He
ting,
breathes.
ting, ting, ting.
Atomic breath.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I would watch that in real life though. Come on. That would be awesome.
Oh, that's so funny.
That would be so good. Okay. Do we have any other taboos?
Do you have? I don't know.
I can't remember what the taboo I was supposed to talk about, but I forgot about it. That's okay.
Final call for taboos before we end it, before I talk about Godzilla for too long again. I was scared to watch Godzilla movies when I was later.
When you were later?
When I was later.
When you were later? Huh.
You missed the Valentine's Day passion stream opportunity.
Did we?
What did we do on that? Didn't we do something for Valentine's Day?
We had
Not you
couples.
and I, but
Wait,
we did the painting.
Yeah, we did the painting. We did painting. Okay, yeah. We did a passion stream. It was painting other people, and it was so passionate. We were artists.
It just clicked in my mind that you rolled your tongue at me.
Yeah.
I was actively thinking, and I was like, wait a minute.
It's because it didn't work. Is the problem? That's why you couldn't tell. This is me. Okay, this is me in the wild, guys. Can you imagine me in the wild going up to someone and be like, and then it not working?
It's unprompted. Not saying a word to this person.
Yes.
I walked up to a man lying in bed in the ER, and I rolled my tongue at him, and he didn't appreciate it.
Yeah, well, he might not have known what I was doing. He might have thought I was a lizard, and I was trying to taste the air. I don't know if lizards do that. It's probably just snakes. But when the GM favors one player over the others.
Yes.
Excellent one, Colby. That's so good. That is me warding off. Oh my gosh, that is me warding off predators with her growls and warning. People are like, ooh, don't mess with her. She growls at people.
Just talk about what you like for 500 hours.
That's kind of
I'll do my One Piece. I'll do my One Piece stream, and it'll be roughly 500 hours.
You haven't done that yet? I thought that's what you were doing
all
the time.
We did. Every time I just default to One Piece, but then I go, I don't think people would genuinely like me just talking about an anime that they haven't watched.
You say that, but it's
So
one of the most popular animes ever.
It is, but I would get into such spoiler territory that I don't know how many people would actually listen in because they don't know all of it. Because I would be talking about Elbaf because there's a lot of cool stuff happening in Elbaf. I can't go into it.
Yeah. Okay. The GM favoring one player over others is painful. It's hard not to, though, if they are in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's hard not to. I mean, obviously you can, but there is a time where it's I don't know, they don't want to upset their girlfriend or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know. I haven't run into it that much.
Yeah, I can't think of a time There's times where it's a GM will do something with a player as they're in for an episode, I've heard.
Yeah.
And then they'll overpower this player too much and then they dip. That's feel bad, but.
Yeah, I don't know. I think mostly the problem is when GMs can't handle a certain type of player where they are horrible. Or like, I don't know, like if the player, if there is a player and the GM can't handle them as just like, I give up and they're just allowed to do whatever they want to do, then I'm like, well, why do I have to follow the rules then?
What the hell?
I'm like, come on, I'm following the rules. I'm, doing this certain amount of feet away I am from the boss and I'm counting the little squares and they can just zoop up there. Why do I even
counting the little squares? I'm counting your stupid little shapes and I'm getting to this ugly little monster.
Every single little square here, I have all of my spells listed, all 3 of them, and when I run out of 3 spells, I'm out! And they don't have to do that? Like, oh gosh.
Okay. Bryn, what if next week for our Tuesday show, we get Logan here, if he can.
Okay.
And it's him and I spend the entire time trying to convince you to watch One Piece. And we do everything we can.
I would watch One Piece. I just need time.
We already did it. Stream next week. Stream over. See you guys in 2 weeks.
Would we just can we do that on stream?
Just rant about One Piece or watch
No,
One Piece?
watch One Piece.
I think we could, but couldn't show it, and we would just have to tell people the time code. But if we want to live watch the first episode of One Piece, we can figure it out. I'm sure. It's a Patreon exclusive. I don't know. I don't know how this works. I know there's streamers who watch movies with their chat at times, so it's possible somehow, some way.
Yeah.
We can't have any audio or visuals for it because Toei, the animation studio, is very strict about
We're gonna have to do like a 3, 2, 1 start.
Yes. We can figure it out.
I think that'd be fun.
That'd be
I don't
fun.
mind. I love anime. I don't know why. Like, I'm not AJ. Actually, I really do really like AJ. Not AJ. I really
AJ.
like anime. I do like AJ. AJ's a good guy.
AJ's cool.
But I do really like anime. That's for sure. I just hardly ever watch it because I hate watching it alone. The problem is I don't like doing anything alone because it feels like such a waste of time. I only do things to like have experiences with other people. I don't like eating alone because I'm like, it's like watching a movie. If I don't want to go to the movie theater alone.
No, I love going to the movie theater alone.
Because I want to be able to look back and be like, do you remember when that monkey that looked just like Sully came out and then he threw her across the room and then she had that like little like teary face and she was like, I'm so cute and cuddly. And then I was like, oh my God, it's Sully. And Sully was sitting over there like, I hate that monkey.
We should live. We should live watch that movie, and then anytime the little monkey comes out, we hit a button, and on screen just says "Sully alert."
Yes!
Photo of 2 of them next to each other.
Yes, and I can get clips of Sully doing exactly the things the monkey was doing. I can say I have clips of her going into a rage. I have her clips doing the little cute little pouty face, so she's so adorable. And how could you ever get mad at her? And I have all of it. I can think of exact moments when this would be perfect. I don't know where I was going with this rant.
I don't know. It sounds like next week we're doing something about whatever we're passionate about. Is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
There's 2 devils on your shoulder that just want you to watch One Piece.
What are my favorite animes? I don't know. I've never seen Sully and that creature in the same place. I'm just saying, guys. She's really into theater, and there's a lot of good makeup. It could totally be her with the little green.
They just had it's for legal reasons. They couldn't put her face on there.
Yep, it is. It's exactly it. Like, it would have been too powerful.
What is your favorite anime? How many animes have you watched? You watched half of Cowboy Bebop. I know that. We got literally to the halfway point and stopped.
I know, which stinks, man. That stinks. I don't know. What have I watched? I really liked Aron High School Host Club. That was hilarious.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was the most funny I've ever seen. It
the
was
most
so
yaoi,
funny.
but not quite.
Yeah, it was so funny. I thought that one was hilarious. And then I watched One Punch Man. Phenomenal.
Oh, wait. So if you've watched One Punch Man, I was talking about this with them on Secrets. We should watch... Or you should watch. I can watch it with you. I'm watching it active. I'm rewatching it now. It's Mob Psycho 100. Same guy who made One Punch Man.
Okay.
But it's about it's about like a middle schooler who's a psychic, and it's like he's got like the best psychic power, but there's just like a couple people who are just kind of using that for their own advantage. But it's like cool, fun shonen action stuff that like you see within the One Punch Man stuff. But it is at its heart a slice of life about a little boy who just wants to grow up and have friends. Like
nice.
It is so good, and it's like one of the best anime I've ever seen. It's so good. It's the same One Punch Man guy.
I actually watch. I have to watch. I don't know if I ever finished One Punch Man because it ended up. We were watching it. I think me and AJ were watching it at the time, and then it didn't have the next season in
dubbed.
Yeah. And I really I don't mind either way. Like I'm fine with whatever. And he doesn't like reading, so
they just announced season 3 is coming out soonish.
I would totally be down for that. I think I actually did watch. We did watch all of season 2 because I was so annoyed, and I was like, "We have to watch it. It's so good." Let's see what else. There was I can't remember the name of this one because I'm terrible with names, and I'm sorry. You're just gonna have to figure it out, but I'm sure you will because that's just how anime people are.
I watch a lot of anime.
There's a guy, just a regular guy that died in. Like a regular dude that's like 35 or 37 or something.
Okay.
He dies and he wakes up in the body of this like younger girl, and she's like a magician, and she goes and fights wars, and she becomes this like army general, and she's like the best of the best.
So it's an isekai, but he becomes a girl?
Yeah, he's just like this young girl. He wakes up as this girl, and then she becomes she's like they're at war.
Saga of the Tanya.
Yes!
The Evil?
Yes.
I've never heard this. Hang on.
Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal because it's literally Nick. And he was quite offended when I said this, by the way. Which I'm like, okay, first of all.
Yeah, the first image is her looking like a fascist. Okay. So I also would be offended.
He was a little offended. But like, I was like, no, you don't understand. This is the most
She's literally the Aryan race.
Yeah, she's like the most practical murder hobo, but only for really practical reasons. Like, she goes through the calculations of everything all the time and tries to find the most legit way of going through things. And she's just like this 11-year-old girl, but this like older like strategist is in the body, and it is phenomenal.
This feels like it
such
gets creepy.
a good one.
This feels like it gets creepy.
Well,
this just feels like
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It looks worse than it is. It's mostly just like
every single thing is her looking like a Nazi.
Okay, yeah, a little bit, just a little bit. But Nick was offended. I thought it was so on. It's so good.
So war crime. So war crime is of you.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But it was a very logical, efficient war crime. So
it was really well executed.
Very well executed, and the efficiency was honestly respectable. I was like, dang, man, everything is so well thought out.
I haven't heard of that one.
I don't know. It was quite good. There's I don't know how far I got into this one because I can't remember, but I think I got pretty far into the slime.
The time we got reincarnated as a slime. Yeah.
That one I thought was pretty entertaining.
That's a pretty big... Okay, so there's 2 isekais so far you've talked about. Yeah,
those were pretty funny.
That's like the pinnacle isekai.
Yeah, that one I liked because there were like boobs everywhere for no reason.
Yeah.
And honestly, 10 out of 10. I loved it. That was great.
Right
it was
on.
so like extra for no reason, and I absolutely loved it.
I think we talked about Food Wars on here one time. It's the
yeah,
one
I know.
Yeah.
I really want to watch Food Wars.
Free Run's good. I still need to finish it, but Free Run is really good. Delicious in Dungeon, I think we also talked about before. It's the one where they go into the dungeon and they eat the monsters and stuff. It's very funny. It's on Netflix. It's super, super good.
If you told him in PowerPoint with a spreadsheet, he would. My delivery was wrong.
Free Run was interesting from the standpoint of how elves view the passing of time. It is. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's fine. I don't know. Is it?
Free Run, yeah. So Free Run is about an elf lady. She's like hundreds of years old, and the whole thing is like the point, the thesis of the show is to slow down and enjoy the little things in life. Because she was like the elf on the party that saved the world. And then time kept moving on. They all got old and began dying, but she just remained the same. So it's her going through life, and you're just kind of watching her journey through this land. And it's like her big things are like she will spend years learning how to practice a spell, and the spell is just to properly clean statues. She just collects small spells like that, and then it's like the party that gathers with her around that, and It's really good. It's a very, very slow show. I joked about it, and it's kind of the charm of it, which is the episode does not start until 15 minutes into this 25-minute show. Like, it is like, it just spends the first 15 minutes of it just kind of doing whatever. Right. Like, you just kind of live with these characters, and then you get into the plot. It's good. It is just it gets nominated for awards constantly, but it is really good. I watched 3 episodes, and then I started falling asleep, and I was actively doing something else, so I was like, I need to watch a more hype show, because it was too chill at that moment.
Right.
Half of Death Note is amazing. The first half is a banger. The second half is produced and is watchable.
I did actually watch Death Note, and I liked Death Note. I like Death Note for the concept of Death Note, and
yep, that's it.
Not for the actual show. But that's also similar. There's another one that I liked. I started, and I must have gotten a decent ways into, but not all the way, because there's some of these shows that are super long. Sword Art Online. Yep,
another isekai. You got a lot of isekais.
Yeah, I don't know how I got on that tangent or whatever, but that's the one where he gets stuck in a video game, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So that one. A concept.
Yep.
So cool. Love the concept. And there's so many cool shows. Like, a lot of the animes have incredible concepts. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, we're getting places. Not really.
Yep.
And so I stopped watching that a little ways into it. I watched enough of it because I really liked the concept. And then I was like,
Yeah, that's Sword Art Online is pretty notorious for being like really cool concept, really poorly executed, then gets really creepy, and it's just power fantasy, which is like the issue I'm having with Solo Leveling right now. But season 2. Solo Leveling.
I saw Solo Leveling.
Oh, that's a really recent one.
Yeah, I saw that one, but only. Again, the first part of it.
The
first part of it, I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" And then I was like, "Well, okay."
That's the thing, is like, I'm really not rocking with Solo Leveling.
I like the first part. I like the concept a lot.
It's a fun concept, but I just couldn't get over how like the main character was too edgy anime character for me.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
And I'm watching it because my brother really likes the show, so I'm watching it because he wants me to watch it. So, but now I just started season 2, and it's picked up a lot more. Yeah. It's kind of more interesting, and now I've realized
the way. What part are you at? What is it? Because I can't remember how far I got.
Season 2, where I'm at, it's the first couple episodes. This is where I stopped. I started watching Mob Psycho, but it's they get stuck in a gate. Like, it's like the gate they go into turns red, which means it's like you cannot leave it until you beat the boss, and these are normally harder gates. Right. So it's like the first couple episodes is like the main guy protecting people that are with him.
Right.
And then so it's immediately like a lot more fun.
Yeah, I think I got there.
And then that's where I stopped, but it's like I'm realizing now the fun part of watching Solo Leveling is not for the main guy, but it's for everyone else surrounding him, because they all have the interesting stories, and he's just kind of there.
Yeah, he is a little bit extreme.
He's there, and he's there to aura, like for not much else.
Right. And I'm sure I watched other animes, but I can't really think of them at the time. I don't know. I do really like animes. I just ended up... It's the same thing with computer games. I also really like computer games. We ended up playing Civ 6 yesterday for my birthday, and it was phenomenal. Honestly, I had a great time, but who has time for video games? And that's the problem with... Anyways, I love animes, and I will want to watch the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, wait, I have a life. That is unfortunate. If I got my boyfriend into it, then I would be spending quality time and
watching bangers.
And so together, it would be worth it. Or if I did it with like friends and stuff. But doing a lot, like, I don't know, watching things alone is just lame and boring.
Yeah, if you want to watch One Piece with someone, you would need to be a boyfriend. Someone who's there constantly to get you through over 1,100 episodes.
Right.
The problem with Solo Leveling is that the power scales so fast because the cap that Jinwoo has to get to is crazy high. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like, I don't know, I just don't care about edgy anime guy.
Yeah.
That was the issue with Sword Art Online too. Was Kirito just became like cool edgy guy.
Yeah, it was annoying. Like, it did end up, he lost, like, there was, I don't know. The concept is cool. Like, there's so many animes that I started that I'm like, the concept is phenomenal. Yeah. And then I'm like,
Like Logan said with Death Note, it's like it's great for that first half, but then that second half loses steam.
Right.
Spoilers for a show that's 20 years old. But it loses steam when L dies, and then a kid who is just L, but a kid comes in.
Yeah.
I remember watching it and being at that point being like, it's kind of lame.
Yeah.
And then it got to the ending where it just 15 minutes just became I knew that you knew that I knew that you knew that I knew that you knew, and I was like, God, nobody's saying anything.
Right.
Nothing's different for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah. Ugh. Eesh.
Power scaling in anime can turn me off of it sometimes.
But that's like,
on how it's handled.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's like everything. The problem is when nothing matters, when it's so powerful that nothing matters, how do you create
The
like gravitas? Yeah, how do you get gravitas? Because there's like no reference to anything. Like a lot of, what is it? A good fight scene is when you can see the impact and see what happens from the fight.
Yeah.
And if there's no impact, if it's just bigger and bigger and bigger, you can have a fist fight that has more gravitas than a Dragon Ball Z fight because things have effect and the effect matters.
Honest to God, that's one of the best parts of One Piece. Luffy is there to liberate a country. Like 9 times out of 10, that's what he's there for. And like the 2 arcs I can think of that are kind of the weakest at that, still follow into that idea of Luffy is there to liberate people, but it is not does not hit as hard, so they're not quite as fun.
Yeah, there's like an effect.
Right.
There's like an effect to what's happening. I really like things that like the effects to people around them. Even like having, it's just what happens really well in Arcane, actually, is I watched this whole thing on how why their fight scenes were generally so good, is that they had so much effect.
Right. Even
just the fights themselves, like you would destroy this wall, and then that wall was gone.
Yeah.
And then they would go through the wall. So, like, there was, like, a whole series of, like,
permanent
things happened, and they got there because of the things that happened.
Yeah.
Which is, like, really nice. The cause and effect things. It just makes it feel like you're always progressing. And that's why one of the reasons that the fights were so good is that there was, like, a series of events on how we got to the end point is only through the actions of the middle parts.
Right.
So, like, honestly, great.
Yeah.
I love watching those, like dissecting videos on other things because I'm like, ooh, yes, that's it. That is what happened is.
It is in One Piece. There's so many of those that the points where Luffy powers up to like his next form, like his like Super Saiyan equivalent of Gear 2 and Gear 3. They are they're both the most interesting of the gear evolutions. I love Gear 5 a lot, but Gear 2 and Gear 3 are the most interesting because they are not there just to make him bigger and stronger.
Right.
They are actual creative things he had to learn to overcome an obstacle in front of him. They are like, it is Gear 2 is just he's faster, he's stronger, but he learned it by observing other people doing similar things and then made his own. The Gear 3 is like his just final blow hit that he needs to hit.
Yeah.
Like they are like, these were logical things that he had to conclusions he came to overcome creatively a challenge in front of him, as opposed. And like, I'm not trying to bash on Dragon Ball. I like Dragon Ball. Yeah. Dragon Ball, the Super Saiyan is just they get angrier and stronger, and then that's kind of it.
Right. I did actually watch Naruto.
Oh.
And I didn't, not all of it.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
That's a lot. I watched that. I was like, how many episodes of this? And I was like.
And how much is filler?
No. But I watched the first bit of it, like a pretty good amount. It was quite a while. And I really like Naruto, actually. I thought that was a great series. I remember being very depressed about how Naruto lived at the beginning of the series, where he had spoiled milk in his fridge and stuff, and he lived alone and all this stuff. I remember being incredibly depressed. It must have made quite an impact on me because I was very depressed about it.
I honestly got like 3 episodes into Naruto and I could not. I just hated Naruto. Like I hated him. I was like, I know he gets a lot better.
No, he is annoying. Yeah, but like he is annoying. But I loved. It's the same thing. Like the system is great because I think I watched it after I watched Avatar Airbender. And I love the idea of the, like, power manipulation and stuff, and everybody has their power, and you gotta go discover other things.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked that stuff. After we got too explosive, like, there's just a lot of stuff that didn't seem to matter at all. And I'm like,
become giant chakra mech battles.
Yeah, I was like, well, I don't know. There was, like, a tournament, and I remember this distinctly. This was a long time ago, by the way, because this is when Avatar Airbender was coming out. is when I watched this because I was trying to find other things that were like similar. And there was like a tournament where everything, like they were like in pairs and they had to go fight each other and all this stuff. And one of it, there was like this.
This is the Brock Lee fight where he takes the
weights off and he's suddenly awesome. It was awesome.
The hardest. It's so cool.
It was so good. And the shadow manipulation.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. Where it's just a mind game. Like that was phenomenal. I loved that part. That was so good.
About 05, yeah. I was thinking 2005.
Yeah, it was a while ago. That's for sure.
I've not watched any Naruto, but I have watched the final fight between Sasuke and Naruto. And that rules. Like that's such
in like the whole series.
Yeah, like they're very like the final episode.
Maybe I should go watch
fight.
it too.
Even if you don't, you can watch the whole show again if you want. But that final fight alone is so well animated.
Maybe I should go watch it.
And the very little Naruto knowledge I have, I'm like, this kind of rules.
Yeah.
Hard. Like they're throwing them. They're like fighting on walls. It's so cool.
I remembered really liking the fighting scenes then. I also really liked how imaginative they were. Like. Yeah. Even the concept, the one I remember distinctly was the concept of shadows, being able to bend shadows, and how do you avoid that? And so they had to be really imaginative by having a complete fight scene just with one of the things who can only fight with shadows. Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, how exactly do you work that? Like,
yeah. Fullmetal Alchemist has that. There's a person they fight in Fullmetal Alchemist that is just shadows, and they have to keep finding ways to either like just keep constant light or keep blocking him in, and it's super super fun.
Yeah, I think I was going to start watching Fullmetal Alchemist, and then I heard it was kind of depressing.
So no, yes, no. There's one episode that is depressing.
Oh,
and
okay.
then you get through that, and then it's fine.
Okay.
Then it's regular, normal sadness.
Regular, normal sadness.
It is. Honest to God, I fully believe Fullmetal Alchemist is anime's like people who say Avatar isn't anime. This is the anime equivalent. Like this, it is. In my mind, fully on par with Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I have heard it was great, but I normally look for animes that are like the Ouran High School Host Club. Yeah. I'm looking for something light. I'm not looking to sob for the next 7 hours.
This is a war story and a very personal family story. So it is like it is an intense show at times, but there is a few. I can think of 2 episodes that are brutally sad. Yeah. Out of 75 episodes, so it's
go back up. I've missed so many things. Go back up.
Where do we need to go?
Sorry, chat. We were just way off on a tangent. Okay, Kakashi and Obito is the last one I read.
Watched Naruto the filler guide. Yes, I kind of liked it when he was in ninja school, but after the time skip, nothing really happened. Yep. Oh, One Piece is a great time skip. It became his giant chakra mech battles.
Sasuke really did. He was like, he really was. He really inspired a whole genre of people.
I started imagining a JRPG Naruto, and the skill trees broke my brain. Ugh. So many menus for that. Rock Lee has no bad fights, I assume. I don't know. I saw him take the weights off, and that was cool.
I mean,
but also Goku did that. Goku did that in like 1996.
Also, he's such a likable character. Rock Lee's such a likable guy.
Final Valley Part 2 was a big deal. I assume that is the final fight between Sasuke and Naruto.
Many Fullmetal.
It's a terrible day for Rain. That's the sad moment for Fullmetal. It's one of the sad moments. There are several versions of Fullmetal, and the newest is not the better one. If you're talking about the live action one, then sure, Papa. That's the other sad one. So there's if you're talking anime, there's 2 Fullmetals. There's Fullmetal Alchemist, just called Fullmetal Alchemist, Fullmetal Alchemist, and then there's Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Fullmetal Alchemist was what they did in 2003, but before the manga finished, and then they kind of just halfway started doing their own thing. Brotherhood is the full story. The only bad thing about Brotherhood, I'd always just say default watch Brotherhood. But the only bad thing about Brotherhood is that it kind of really goes through the beginning fast, because it kind of just assumes you watch the first Fullmetal Alchemist and then watch Brotherhood. Yeah. But Brotherhood is the full complete story, and it is. It's so good. Like I literally finished it last week. Like it is truly the one of the only shows I can confidently say 10 out of 10 ending. Like it fully sticks the landing. It's 9:00.
Oh, we got
It's 9 o'clock. We didn't talk about TTRPG Taboos for
we really
45
tried.
minutes.
I
I'm
put
renaming
so
this VOD to Just Chatting. Honestly, we
No,
really did not.
We tried so hard, so the effort counts. The effort counts. You got to keep the name. Our effort was like absolutely.
All right, the title, the thumbnail will be the same, but then the title of it will be Taboos, but kind of not really.
Kind of not really. Kind of not really. I mean, we tried our hardest, and no shame on us for having a good conversation.
Yeah, we still had fun, and you guys had fun too, and I know that because you were talking a lot. All right. Well, if you enjoyed the show, I just know that there's so many people who are going to start this video, hear us complain about their specific things they do, leave a dislike, and then leave.
Yeah, do it.
So,
do it.
If you're still watching and you like us, leave a like on the YouTube video because we're going to need it for this one.
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you want to support the show, follow us at UGT Show on all social media platforms. If you also want to support us, $5 a month gets you access to our Patreon. It gets us gets you to our bonus shows where we just talk about the last episode of our actual plays that we do, such as Strange Aeons on Sundays, Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We're on that sometimes. Either one of us at any point could be on there.
You'll get one of us at any time.
And then on Wednesdays, tomorrow night, if you're watching this live, is Secrets Between the Stars, the show that I run. It's a Starfinder one. It's very fun. We have a merch store also. We don't plug that one enough. We have a merch store. You can designed by humans at UGT Show on there. It's a lot of fun shirts. I'm burping. Good night, everybody.